Everybody always talks about Pleasanton and Danville when they think of the Tri-Valley, but there's a really cool city out here that most people don't even notice. And fun fact, the people out here tend to like it that way. I'm talking about Livermore, California. And trust me, once you find out what this city has to offer, you'll see why the locals want to keep it their little secret. By the time this video is over, you will know all the hidden gems in Livermore and be ready to pack your bags. Let's dive in. But before I show you the hidden gems, let me give you a quick overview of the area. Livermore sits about 50 minutes southeast of San Francisco and sits right in the middle of the Tri-Valley. And it's got this mix that you really won't find anywhere else. You got rolling vineyards that stretch out as far as you can see that sit right next to tree-lined neighborhoods where families hang out at local parks. And it's wine country mixed with small town charm that somehow all perfectly fits together. And on the south side of Livermore, you'll find tons of wineries that have been a part of Livermore's culture for generations. This is actually one of California's oldest wine regions, with Spanish missionaries planting grapes as far back as 1760. Now, these aren't just tourist spots. Here in Livermore, our wineries are a part of everyday life, with tasting rooms that put on local events and have activities for everyone to enjoy. The way the wide open wineries here in Livermore mix with the cozy neighborhoods gives you that small town feel while still feeling like you're in wine country. But let's talk about something that really matters if you're moving in the Bay Area, and that's affordability. Livermore simply gives you more for your money, and it's far more affordable than most Bay Area cities. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you how the amazing housing in Livermore ties right into national parks, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Livermore is going to run you about $1 million to $1.2 million. And in Pleasanton, that same house is going to cost $1.3 to $1.5 million, and in Danville, $1.6 plus. To put it simply, Livermore's median home price is about $1.2 million, while Pleasanton's is about $1.4, and Danville's is about $1.6 million. That puts Livermore at roughly 10 to 15% lower for price per square foot than Pleasanton, which makes a huge difference when you're purchasing the biggest asset of your life. And this isn't just about saving money. It's about being a part of a community that offers all the perks that more pricier cities do as well. Plus, Livermore has its own unique character, and that character comes from local hidden gems that locals have been enjoying for years. Now, before I show you these amazing spots, if you're thinking about moving to the Bay Area, I'm Amanda Elhassan, your local Tri-Valley real estate expert. Follow along, hit the subscribe button for more videos, or email me at hello@sellwithaeg.com. All right, let's get into the hidden gems that really make Livermore locals light up when they talk about their city, or as I like to call them, the heartbeat of our community. First up, this one is close to my heart. It's Alden Lane Nursery. Now, when I tell people about this place, they think I'm talking about just a regular garden center. But trust me, it's so much more than that, tucked away under a giant oak tree just south of downtown Livermore. Alden Lane has been a big part of our community ever since Ruth and Jack Williams started it in 1955. What makes it so special is how it brings people together. They run gardening workshops that turn beginners into pros, host flower shows that highlight the best of the valley, and put on family festivals that everyone looks forward to each year. One of the biggest events is Art Under the Oaks, where local artists and wineries come together for an outdoor festival which highlights Livermore's wine country in the best way possible. And here's my favorite thing about Alden Lane. It changes with the seasons. In spring, you'll see beautiful rose and iris displays, and in the fall, it turns into a pumpkin wonderland that draws families from all over the Tri-Valley. And you'll probably come here just to buy a plant and end up staying for hours. Oftentimes, running into neighbors, chatting with them, and finding something new every time. And now this brings me to something that's adding a whole new vibe to Livermore, and that's the J Block outdoor area. It's the city's latest push to bring outdoor dining and social spaces to downtown Livermore. And honestly, it's working really well. Fun fact, it's right outside my office. The J Block sits around the famous historic Flagpole Plaza, and it brings this historic charm with a modern feel right here to downtown. Here you'll find walkable spaces, room for food trucks, and space for local markets and outdoor vendors to have pop-ups all year round. It's got that city energy right in the middle of the suburbs. And it creates this lively spot that works well for everyone, from families who want to enjoy outdoor dining together to young professionals who just want to grab a drink at happy hour after work. So the J Block really is about giving people a space to all come together. It feels relaxed, but also stylish, familiar, but also something new. You can grab dinner from a food truck and hang out under the string lights while your kids play nearby, or shop at local vendors and walk around and enjoy the live music. It's truly exactly the kind of space that modern communities are looking for. Speaking of downtown Livermore, let me tell you the charm that is waiting for you along 1st and 2nd Street. Downtown Livermore has this amazing mix of local shops and restaurants that really shows how much the community values diversity. When you walk downtown, you'll come across places like First Street Wine Company, where you can taste local wines right next door to furniture shops that have tons of great home goods. And in a minute, I'll explain the importance of why having places like this gives that community spirit right next to master plan developments that are going in nearby. Now, the food scene is just as cool here, with casual favorites like Tacos Livermore or sit-down barbecue spots like Sauced Barbecue and Spirits. But what I love most about downtown Livermore is how walkable it is. The streets truly feel built for people, not cars, and there are regularly street fairs that block off the streets with local vendors popping by. It's the kind of spot where you can come park and end up walking around for hours, whether that is exploring a local brewery, a cool boutique shop, or a family-run cafe just right here in downtown. And I definitely have to give a shout out to the craft beer and spirits scene here. You'll find pioneer breweries like Altamont Beer Works, Tap 25, and Buzzing on Hops, and small batch distilleries like Sidewinder Spirit Co. that really highlight our community's passion and creativity. And these aren't just chains, they're run by locals in Livermore because they care about enhancing our community. Now let's talk about lifestyle, because if you love the outdoors, Livermore's outdoor space is going to blow you away. All around the city, you'll find huge reserves that make it easy to get outside and stay active. Sycamore Grove Park alone covers 847 acres with trails for hiking, biking, and even horses, all under shady oak trees. It's the kind of spot that you can explore over and over again and still find new paths every time that show off the valley's natural beauty. And then there's Del Valle Regional Park, which is enormous, 4,300 acres to be exact. And it's got this big reservoir that's perfect for kayaking, fishing, or swimming. But what makes these parks even better is that they're part of a connected trail system managed by the Livermore Area Recreation and Park District. So instead of just one park here, you get access to a whole network of parks and trails all connected to one another. Now, you might be wondering why these hidden gems matter so much when you're deciding on where you want to call home. But here's where it gets interesting. All these places on their own or together set Livermore apart from nearby places like Pleasanton and Dublin. They are what gives Livermore a true sense of identity you just can't find anywhere else. And here's what I mean. Places like Pleasanton and Danville are part of a huge, polished, master plan suburban vibe. Livermore, on the other hand, mixes historic vineyards, local cultural spots, and new urban spaces. And that combination creates character that feels real, and it resonates with both locals who've been here a long time and people who have just moved in. And that unique character also builds something that you just can't put a price on. The community spirit here is strong. Local community shop owners, volunteers, and neighbors all work really hard to put on community events that bring everyone together. To spring harvest flower festivals at Alden Lane, to wine harvesting events at the local winery, there's always something going on here that brings people together. And that kind of community environment really builds true connections throughout our city. But what makes it even better is for people who move here, they often say how authentic it all truly feels. And that's because these aren't cookie-cutter staged events. They're traditions that grow naturally out of what the locals here truly love. So when you come to Livermore, you're not just buying a house, you're becoming part of a community that values its roots and cares about the future. And the way they preserve the open spaces while connecting to walkable downtown streets also reinforces Livermore's reputation as both a family-friendly town and a true wine country destination. You truly get the best of both worlds: wide open spaces, Bay Area living, and a small town feel, and you just can't find that in many Bay Area cities. And here's the most exciting part about Livermore. They truly know how to look ahead in the future while still honoring its historical past. And the J-Block, that's a perfect example of that. It takes historic buildings and reimagines them into places that work for today's modern families. And they did that all without losing any of its character and charm. And this balance of old charm and new growth makes Livermore a place that people want to be and everyone can find their spot where they fit in. Young families love the parks and community events. Longtime residents value the respect for the agriculture and history. And professionals commuting to San Francisco or Silicon Valley get that small town charm while still being able to commute to their jobs. And honestly, anyone who's looking for a slower pace but a community that's still actively engaged and active in future plans. So looking ahead, Livermore really stands out as a unique place for the future of the Bay Area housing market. You're not only getting a better value compared to other Bay Area cities, you're getting a real sense of belonging and community. Livermore is more than just houses and vineyards. It's a vibrant place full of exciting experiences that truly make it a wonderful place to live. So if you're thinking about moving to the Bay Area, don't overlook Livermore. As someone who's helped many families find their perfect place in the Tri-Valley, I can tell you firsthand that Livermore always pleasantly surprises people when they come visit. So reach out today at hello@sellwithaeg.com and let's make your Livermore dream come true. And don't forget to follow along and hit that subscribe button for more videos on all that Livermore has to offer.